Hello everyone, Chris here again with a little update on the 2CV van conversion. It's the 31st of July, it's Wednesday, and as you've probably noticed, it's been a while since the last update. Now some stuff has happened since you last saw, and I did actually make some videos about 9 days ago, and then a few more a couple of days after that. But I never got a chance to edit them together and upload them. Now some more has happened since those videos, but as you'll remember, in the last update I was quite optimistic, and I was preparing the underside of the car, the underside, under the floors and the bulkhead area. I was preparing that, killing the rust, and about to put some underseal on so that I could bolt the body down, and that would be the end of that. Anyway, very soon after that I discovered some problems. Now let's have a look what the situation is at the moment. So what's happened there then? There appears to be a bit of a hole where the front of the floor used to be. What I'll now do is edit in some bits and pieces of the other videos that I made. I'll try and keep this video as short as possible, but it may end up being a little bit long. But yeah, I'll put some bits and pieces in now so that you can see what's been going on and why I've ended up in this situation. And I'll tell you what, it would be really handy if you guys could, if you could all give me feedback on what kind of length of videos you prefer. Because I never really know whether to go for about 10 minutes, keep it less than 10 minutes, or whether you would rather some longer videos. Of course, the shorter they are, the more frequent they can be, possibly, but it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it's quicker to edit them together if they can be a little bit longer. So yeah, I'd really appreciate a little bit of feedback on that. If you could just let me know, that'd be brilliant. And I've had a couple of new subscribers, so hi to you guys, really appreciate it. Some nice messages, so thanks a lot. So cue the old videos. Righty ho, so I made a start cutting out this rusty panel, having noticed that there was a crack and a hole, so I've cut a chunk out there. And this here, I mean, it's two layers. You've got an outer panel and an inner panel, and it's spot welded along this edge. So I made a start drilling out the spot welds, and I folded this back out the way, and the next step was going to be to carefully drill out the plug welds that hold the floor pan down onto here, and then I could take this piece out and make a whole new piece of metal to fill the hole. But what I noticed before I even finished getting that out of there, I noticed I could see a tiny little pinhole of daylight through the bottom of the outer panel here. And it, obviously I knew already it was quite rusty, but I thought there was enough thickness left in it, to leave it. But I saw a little pinhole of daylight, and sure enough, with a bit of poking around with a screwdriver, it went straight through. So yeah, basically the outer panel has got to be cut out and replaced as well. Now thankfully I've had a really good look, and it's really only the left hand side of the car, the left hand side, that's actually particularly rusty. And I think that's all down to the fact that when the car is parked, it tends to be on the left hand side of the road, so the camber of the road means all the water goes to this side, so it's this side that's really suffered. I've actually got a endoscope type camera here, with a long flexible end on it. And what I can do is insert that all the way up into this side of the box section and check out what the condition is inside there, and it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of flaky stuff, but I'm going to get in there with a brush, loosen all that up, and then once this is all back together, I'm going to drill some holes, some access holes, and I can get in there with a cavity wax spray with a flexible tube on it, get in through the holes and fill the whole thing up with cavity wax, and hopefully delay any further rusting from happening. I mean, really, it's just water has got in there one way or another, and I think what happened, I mean, 2CVs are renowned for having little leaks here and there and everywhere. Bizarrely, the one thing that doesn't tend to leak is the roof, but everything else does. And you know, I've had leaks through the windscreen wiper spindles that drips down, and I was forever getting water on the floor. And I'm sure it's just found its way into that box section through one of the ends where I put some sealer there, but I probably missed a bit. And I think also what happened, before I cut, you know, when I was doing this conversion job and I cut the back end of the sills off, I realised that the very end of the sill is where it's exposed to the you know, where the wheel arch is, where all the dirt and road muck and all the rain gets thrown forward by the tyre. I noticed there was a hole, a rust hole, in the end of, I think the left hand sill was worse, and water had been getting thrown straight into the sill and was probably running all the way to the front and then into this box section. So, but anyway, so I don't need to cut too much out, it's just the bottom face, and then, you know, about 20mm of the front bit. So yeah, there's the metal I'm going to be using. It's about 1.5mm thick, which is slightly thicker than the old stuff, so that should be great for the job. I've got another sheet, this is only enough to do the outer panel. I've got another piece of metal that's about 1mm, which will be plenty fine to do the inner panel, because the stuff that you know, the original, this inner panel is only about 1mm thick anyway. So yeah, so that's that. I mean, what happened, these panels are, as you can see, these are repair panels, you know, spot welded along the inside here, and these were panels I bought from ECAS 2CV parts back in 2006, and you know, they've lasted since 2006, and that's with water running into them, so that's not bad. You know, so they've done well, considering I didn't do any rust protection inside them when I fitted them. I never got round to it. I didn't do anything like that. So they've not done bad at all. But the next challenge is, you know, I was having a bit of a scrape around inside here, and I noticed that the end of the sill, where it goes through into the box section area, where the water's been sat in there, end of the sill is completely rotten inside there. And this is quite a key area because it bears a lot of weight of the car. Basically, the weight of the car transfers through the sill and into this box section, which acts as a structural piece, and then that transmits the weight down onto the chassis. So this is quite important, this whole area, and the door frame attaches here and everything. So I noticed this front bit was really rotten here, and I thought, okay, well, that's just rotten because of the water that was sat in there sloshing around. But I also noticed that the rust has gone all the way through here as well, which is a bit more tricky because I've got the floor pan here, which is in the way. And to take the floor pan out is a massive job, and I really don't want to do that. So what I'm probably going to do is just do the best I can. I'll probably just cut out this rotten area here and weld a plate in just on this side of the floor pan. You know, I'll just put the plate against there, weld up around it, and weld it straight to the floor pan. So the folded edge of the floor pan will take over the job of the rotten bit of the sill, which I can't get to. The only other way is to take the whole floor pan out, which means drilling out lots and lots of spot welds, and also means ruining all the work I've done at the back already. So I'm not going to do that, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to do what I can to make it strong enough again and see how it lasts. Looking good, but boy, this is tedious. And there's the finished article. So that's going to be the new outer skin for the lower bulkhead section, and yeah, that's that. So next job's to take that down the garage again and see how it's going to fit. Right, so hopefully you've got a bit of a better idea of what's been happening. So I'll now show you where I'm at now, and yeah. So if we come round here, now forgive the bad lighting, it's about 8 o'clock in the evening. It's too late to run the generator. I've actually got a mains voltage strip lamp up there, which I can use, but it's too late to run the generator, and I'm really concerned about the risk of getting complaints about noise, so I'm not going to push my luck, so I'm using a little 12-volt light at the moment. So as you've already seen, the inside layer of the bulkhead had to be cut out, and so did the outside layer. I know you can hardly see that, but basically that's where we're at. I've only had to cut about half the height away, not the whole thing, because it was only the bottom area that was rusted, and the same with the inside. And the inside face of the sill as well needs to be cut out. Now I haven't done that yet. Today I've been cleaning up all the edges, ready for when I weld in the new panels, and I've made a start straightening the panels as well, so that they meet nicely, so they all join together nice and straight. So that's my cut line for the inside of the sill. You can see how extensive the rust was, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a couple of holes down at the bottom of it, on, bottom edge there where it meets the floor pan. So that whole piece has got to be cut out. I've already made ooh, just need some more hands to do this. So here's the panel I'm going to weld in on the sill, and that just slots in something like that. Now of course the easiest thing to do would be to just slap that on top and run a weld around the outside of it, but I don't really like to overlap things when I weld them on. So what I'm going to do is actually cut this piece out, and then it'll be a nice neat butt weld. There'll be no overlapping areas, because they're an ideal place for rust to hide out and start getting a grip. So and of course when this is done, I'm going to be spraying some cavity wax inside the sills and the bulkhead, so I want the cavity wax to get to every surface as much as possible, so I don't want to create any sort of hidden areas that it can't get to. So that's that panel for the sill. I've made a replacement piece for the outer layer of the bulkhead, which is just going to fit in something like that, and it needs a bit more trimming, just so, again, I want to butt weld it. I don't want it to overlap like it is there at the moment, and I need to shape the outside end of it so that it fits nicely against this lip of the sill and extends down towards the outside a bit better. So that's that. I've still got to make up a panel for the inside layer, so hopefully I'll do that tomorrow, and I might even start welding some stuff in tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So hopefully I'll get this stuff uploaded tonight, and then you won't need to keep waiting for an update from me. So yeah, there we go. So bye for now, guys and girls. Speak to you soon. Take care, everyone.